What's going on, guys? I thought I would do a quick video on a lightweight pack out and kind of a hot weather, hot, humid. You want to keep it light. You don't want to overwork yourself. Obviously drink plenty of water, stay hydrated, limit the alcohol intake, especially during the week, and just take care of yourself. So obviously with Veto, you buy these bags and you want to put more and more and more stuff in it. Next thing you know, a 20 to 25 pound bag weighs about 35 pounds. You're lugging that thing around. It's 95 degrees outside. The humidity and dew point is outrageous. You're sweating, you're hot. Addicts, dragging it through crawl spaces, things like that. If you're doing residential work, if you need it, you have it, but you don't want to carry it around all the time. Once it gets into the fall, winter, and spring, I'm fine with a bag like this. Doesn't bother me at all. I have two of them, one here, one behind it. They're all packed the same. I've basically got 3 full sets of complete tools. I could pack 3 of these bags exactly the same way with everything I have. So I don't know, tool junkie, I don't know. But anyway, so you got the Veto TP for the Tech MCT. I've got it fully loaded out. Got my Bosch drill in here. Everything in it that you would need to work with. Pull that out, look around. Got bits back there. Got all the stuff I need. If you flip it around, back side, there's my UEI meter, which stays in this bag, because basically this bag is just one I keep in my personal truck. If I need it, I have it. Neighbor calls, somebody that knows me calls. I don't have to get anything out of my work truck. I've got a bag here to go kind of check things out. So that's kind of how that is packed. Kind of an overflow bag, spare tool bag. If I lose something, I can grab something out of this bag until I can go somewhere and replace it. With that said, the other bag is the TP XXL. I had the XL and it worked fine, but it was kind of tight and compact. And from spring or fall, winter, and spring, I'm fine carrying a bag like this. But once it gets hot, you want to do a quick diagnostic. You kind of want something lightweight, something quick. If you're getting detailed or you got some work to do, you can always come back and grab one of these bags. I've already done a review and a loadout video on this bag, so I'm not going to go through it again. I've got the meter pockets on the side, my meter's in here, my field piece job link set is in there, my temperature probes or temperature clamps are in the back pocket. Instead of using it for a tablet, I put those in the back pocket. Parts containers are stored up here. I have 3 separate containers, one with wire nuts, one with screws and fittings, the other one with stake-on, spade taps, things like that. So there's 3 different boxes across here, one here, one here, and one here. Just to give you an example of what they look like, I picked them up at Cabela's. This is the one with the screws in it and all my fasteners and things like that. It slides right back up in the middle, in between the other 2. Pull the other one out. It has all my stake-on fittings in it and fuses and things like that. The double spade connectors are what Ted calls a Jimmy Wiggler. I've got some of the Jimmy Wigglers in there, 3 and 5 amp fuses. One on the other side has wire nuts. So just reach in and grab the one I need, but you can watch the video on that. I've already done it. But during the summer, you like to have something a little more lightweight, kind of something you can grab, do a quick diagnostic. Like I said, if you need to come back and grab a bag like that, you can. During the summer, I'll load out the TP4B. I keep it light. Obviously, you see that there's no drill in here. If I've got a package unit, obviously I'll walk around to the truck and grab one of my 2 drills. So it's not a big deal. Package units, yeah, you got a bunch of screws you want to get out. You got to get the top off, side panels off, things like that. Condenser, air handler, case coil, something like that. Using a nut driver is fine. I'm not in that big of a rush. But I want to grab something that's light. This bag weighs probably about 11 pounds last time I weighed it as it's packed out. I'll go over it real quick, show you what I keep in this bag. We'll hit the front pocket first. And you don't have to get a Veto TP. This is the Veto TP4B. The 3B I found to be a little bit too small. It really minimizes what you can carry. The 4B obviously has the plastic bottom on the top. On the bottom. You can buy similar bags like this at Lowe's and Home Depot. Less quality. Going to be canvas on the bottom, so there's a good chance it's going to rip and tear. You're going to have problems with it. Pockets usually wear out a little quicker. Things start to fall out. This isn't a bad bag to grab if you want to get one, but you can do a similar loadout with similar bags that you can buy a little less expensively. But with this one, I grab it. Usually I put it away once we get into the fall and the spring, and once it's cool outside, I'm fine. I'll grab that TP XXL, carry it around all day long. I don't have a problem. 90% of what I need to do 90% of what I do is always in that bag. I have to make minimal trips back to the truck. This is kind of a quick diagnostic, an easy, simple repair bag. Works great, but it's lightweight, so in the summer when it's hot and humid, not having to carry around a bunch of weight, it works great. So the way I keep this bag packed out, this is the way I do it. Other people have videos, you can look at them, figure out what works for you. I do residential service, heating and air conditioning. I'm not doing commercial. I imagine if I was getting up on a rooftop, maybe I would want to carry a little bit more with me to minimize having to climb down off that roof, down that ladder, down that access and all that to get back out to my truck to grab one little thing. So I understand that. This bag, it's lightweight. We'll hit the front pocket first. Keep the little electrician's ratchet in there. Little Nebo, rechargeable, magnetic light. So if I need to stick something up inside the air handler or the cabinet of the unit in the crawl space when I'm working, it's got a magnet on it. I have that light. Keep a set of those jumpers that I made. I took 4 different colors, snipped them, stripped them, crimped them, and wire nutted them together in one place so that I can connect 24 volts here. And then I have 3 other wires. I can jump out my fan, my reversing valve, my heat strips, my outdoor unit from one location with one set of jumpers. A 3-amp fuse popper. Now with that said, I'm probably going to trim these wires back just a little bit shorter to make it a little more compact. Put some male fittings a little bit closer just so it's a little smaller. I don't really need them that long. I really don't know why they made them that long to begin with. Make them a little bit shorter, probably do that, but looking for low voltage shorts. I've got the short pro tool with the light in it, which is in that bag, and I may come out and get that once in a while and use it, but that's pretty good for checking for low voltage shorts. Works fine. Get the 3-amp, not the 5-amp. The 5-amp in the wrong situation will blow a transformer. Keep a set of needle probe leads for plug connections, getting into tight spots, checking for voltage, ohming things out, stepper motors, temperature sensors, things like that, especially the train units. Any kind of inverter unit, a mini split, you want to have a set of needle point probes. Set of the alligator clips, black, red, they're in there. Keep a little small 6-in-1 stubby. It's real tiny. I've got a ratcheting version of this from Klein in that bag. I wasn't going to do that for this one. I just keep this little tiny one in there. Works fine. 2 size Phillips, 2 size flat, 1/4 inch, 5/16. Keep a little Allen key. It used to come with the zone damper motors from Honeywell to get the lock screw out. They don't include it anymore. I was smart enough to keep 2 or 3 of these from the boxes when you got the damper motors. They used to actually include these. They don't anymore, but I did keep them whenever I found them in the box, and that's one of them. So it helps you reach back in there. Obviously, just if you want to know out of curiosity, your refrigerant wrench, your refrigerant ratchet, when you're doing it, using it, when you flip your little tool around for the liquid line valve, king valve, the liquid line valve end of that fitting, not only does it remove and fit the gas plug fittings on the older gas valves where it had the fitting where you had to take it out to check gas pressure, it also fits the zone damper motor lock screws on the Honeywell dampers. So you can use your refrigerant wrench if you want to loosen the lock screws on the Honeywell zone damper motors. And then down here in the bottom, I keep a 3/8. I've got the DeWalt flip bit. It's 3/8, 7/16, so I can just flip it around. If I need that, it's there for motors, things like that. And then I keep an extra flip bit, 5/16, 1/4 inch, just in case I lose the one that I have on here. So I also keep a nut driver on here. It's the Malco handle. I can take that out if I need to make an extension, reach back further, add that extension, which I keep a number 2 Phillips in. I use the lock version of this, and the reason I get this one is because it's narrower, so it fits in tighter places. I can just pop that out. I can stick that in, and now I have a pretty long nut driver to reach back in to a tight spot to get to something that's a little far back. So that is how I have my nut driver set up. Like I said, I keep my number 2 Phillips in the end of that just for storage, or if I need to use it, it's there. I keep the Klein 8-in-1 HVAC 1/4 inch, 5/16 with obviously your Phillips and your flat and your thermostat screwdriver and your Schrader core tightener. And there comes the train. Keep an insulated Klein Phillips reversible flathead screwdriver. I have the code blue channel lock adjustable wrench in there because it opens real wide, and it also has the narrow jaws to get behind tight spots right there. So I keep that. Keep some zip ties in there. Keep the Milwaukee needle nose pliers. Wait for the train. Sounds like it's moving kind of slow. They're wire strippers from 20 gauge all the way down to 10 gauge. Cutters, those things are real sharp. Reamer, if you want to use it for that. Needle nose. Bolt cutters, screw cutters. They're in there, small bolts. I keep those in there. I also keep these Carlisles. You can find these at Napa Auto Parts in their electrical tool section. These are actually my crimpers. They have a small plier tip on the end. You've got your non-insulated and insulated crimpers. You have a cutter right there. You have a cutter right there. And then you also have wire strippers that go from 20 gauge all the way down to 12. So they're strippers, cutters, crimpers, and pliers. These things work real well. They're about $23. Find them at Napa Auto Parts. Right there, Carlisle. How well you can see that, I don't know. Grab a set of those, man. They're lightweight and they come in handy and they crimp great. I keep a high pressure gauge with 410A R22. Obviously these are going to change when all the A2L refrigerants come out. With Train and well, basically when the refrigerants change in a couple of years. So there's going to be some upgrades to be made at that point in time. I keep a low loss fitting on it, ball valve, so I can hook up. Make sure you keep your gaskets changed. Keep your gaskets changed when you hook up to it. It won't spray all over you, because you want that rubber and you want that gasket to seal at about the same time or just before your depressor pushes in that Schrader core. So check your gaskets, make sure you change your gaskets. But anyway, keep that gauge head on there. I can check low and high pressure with that. All I need is PSI most of the time. Check that temperature across there. Get an idea. If I think I've got a refrigerant problem after hooking this up, I can come back to the truck and get some digital gauges, get my field piece probes, whatever I need. This is just a quick, lightweight diagnostic bag. So I keep that there. Keep a small set of the Irwin vice grip channel locks. Like I said, this is just a quick diagnostic bag. I'm not in here trying to break down gas valves and gas lines, things like that. I just need something I can grab if I need to grab hold of something and turn it, spin it. That works. Keep the Fluke 324 plus. Does amps, temperature, checks capacitors, continuity, ohms, volts AC, volts DC. For diagnosing something real quick, that meter works perfectly fine. Obviously I keep a brush in every bag that I have, because the first thing I do when I open an outdoor unit especially is get all the damn cobwebs and all the crap out of the way. If I can't see what everything is, it drives me nuts. So if it's never been maintenance and it's all wrapped up in spider webs and cobwebs, I'm going to take my brush before I do anything and start brushing all that out so I can see what I'm looking at. I got a clear picture, nothing's in my way. It's just a habit with me. That's just what I do. I keep a brush. Over here I keep a rechargeable little pin light. Obviously you saw the Nebo. This is a rechargeable pin light that I keep in the bag. Like I said, this bag is for lightweight, small, in and out, not having to worry about breaking my back carrying around something heavy when it's hot and humid outside. Keep a south wire. There's a Klein in the other bag. There's a Klein in that bag. This is the south wire. Just basically a quick test for high voltage. Keep a Milwaukee marker, Sharpie. If I need to mark something, I can do it. Keep a temperature probe there. You saw the extension. I keep a small inspection mirror right there. Magnet. If I drop a screw, I got something I can reach in there and grab it, pick it up. Extendable magnet. Keep this little cobalt razor. If I need to cut something, trim something out of the way, I have it. It's small, it's lightweight, doesn't take up a whole lot of space, it's not knocking stuff on the wall. You saw the extension. I have a smaller little mini screwdriver. It's got a core tool on it. Small flathead for thermostats. If you open this end, it's got your small and larger size, your small Phillips, your larger Phillips. Keep that tucked away right in there. And there's a handle on it. I added the shoulder strap. And in the back, I keep a pill container. If you look in the first compartment, I usually keep a couple of refrigerant caps, some anchors, screws, and wall anchors for thermostats. You go to a house, the thermostat's loose on the wall. Whoever put it up didn't put the anchor kit in with it. So I'm able to go back and fix that. Keep a couple of grommets. If I need to drill a hole in a cabinet, I can put it in there, run the wire through it. It doesn't rub around the edge of the unit. So I keep little rubber grommets in there. Obviously, different types of 1/4" screws, different types of 5/16 screws. Your red, blue, and yellow stake-ons or spade connectors, the females, keep those. Blue and gray wire nuts. I don't keep orange wire nuts in this bag. This is basically to clean up any kind of like a thermostat or a low voltage connection. I keep those wire nuts in there. Keep some other wire repair connectors if I need to cut out a piece of rubbed wire or something. You have the male and female little connectors there that I can use. Instead of just wrapping electrical tape around it, I can cut it, strip it, put the fittings together. This comes apart, it's 2 pieces, plug it back together. Just makes a quick electrical connection. And then the other one has some 3-amp fuses, some 5-amp fuses, and yes, some Jimmy Wigglers right there. Jimmy Wigglers. They don't wiggle, but they're Jimmy Wigglers. Slide that back in there. It stays back in this area. Keep some zip ties if I need them. So that's kind of how I keep this bag loaded out. Like I said, with everything in it, I weighed it. It was right at 11 pounds, borderline. So it's a quick grab and go diagnostic bag. You don't wear yourself out. You're not killing yourself. If you pack it correctly, you can pretty much do most of your repairs with this. Maybe you got to go get a relay, a sequencer, a capacitor, or something along those lines, contactor, little things like that. A control board. All you need is a screwdriver and a nut driver or whatever to get a control board out, unless it's got the little plastic clips on the back. You just snap those off. The new board usually comes with them. But if you're doing a compressor, a coil, something like that, with me anyway, yeah, I'm going to grab one of these bags from the get-go and just get started. But for a quick diagnostic, let me look at it, see what's wrong with it, see what we got going on. 10-11 pound bag all day long when it's 95 degrees outside and it's humid and you're hot and you're tired. So anyway, that's the idea, guys, how you can pack out a lightweight bag to get you through the day and make things a little easier for you. Appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe, comment, and we'll see you on the other side. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, fellas.